It's an informational meeting. There will be no public input, just observation. And the reason for the meeting, it stems from the November 14th meeting between our auditors, the treasurer, as well as Rescue Chief Samantha regarding fiscal situation with the rescue enterprise account. So it's informational, just to garner where things are fiscally with that department. And what I'd like to do is have the people at the table go around and introduce themselves and their affiliation, why they're here at the meeting.
Sue Collins, Selectman Assistant, here to take minutes.
Ben Thompson, Selectman.
Jeanette LeMay, Treasurer.
Bill Hall, RHS with
Ron Smith, RHS with
Jason Police, Assistant.
Brad Moore, Town Treasurer.
And just as a reminder, because I know Selectman Cole does wear two hats, he is Selectman, and I know that he knows to recuse from that role, but by all means should input and ask questions with regard to your hat participation. I guess I would just start with your auditors. What happened with that?
Well, how about I go back a little bit in time?
Sure.
So let's go back to 2010, and I won't go back too long in 2010. The rescue department always used to be a department within the town of Lebanon. And I believe somewhere on or around that time, the rescue department in the town crafted an ordinance to, for lack of a better word, privatize or enterprise rescue. And there are at least two, maybe three warrant articles. One was to buy an ambulance that year, if I recall. And the other one was to establish this rescue department. And the other one was for the town of Lebanon to approve an ordinance that kind of governed how this rescue department was going to be administratively run. And the deal was, and the theory was back then, is that the rescue department would be run wholly without any taxpayer dollars to run the department. So, and I'll bring us up to probably sometime in December of 2012 to January of 2013, when myself, I believe Bill was there, the Board of Selectmen, and Samantha Cole was there talking about some concerns that we had based on the June 30th, 2012 audit. And the concerns were, is the fact for a few years, the rescue billings were diminishing. The cash flow was diminishing. And on June 30th, 2012, the rescue department was operating at almost a profitability of break-even. From July 1, 2012 to June 30th, 2013, the rescue department ran into a deficit of about, I'm going to say, $30,000 at least of the cash. When you add the principal payment on the ambulance, it would be as much as $60,000 of the cash deficit. And the thing that was compounding the deficit even more was the fact that the rescue payments on the rescue billings were lagging behind as much as 3 to 4 months. So the town was using cash flow of general fund cash flow to subsidize not only the deficit of rescue, but the operations of rescue. And the money wasn't coming in fast enough from rescue billing to alleviate the drain of cash flow from the town's coffers. And to the point where the town's coffers on June 30th, 2013 were, I believe it was around $168,000, to use a close round number, of what the town had invested into the rescue department, with the expectations that there would be revenues and receivables coming in to offset that. So clearly, with the delay of the payments from the billing service, and I understand there was a variety of things causing the delay of the billing service that we can talk about here this evening. But that caused the town to, I think, July, give us a phone call. We came in to do some preliminary audit and confirmed, yes, there's about $160,000 of money advanced to the rescue department. The concern became magnified sometime within the past 4 to 6 weeks, because Comstar generated a letter to the town basically wanting the town to write off somewhere close to, I believe, $90,000 of the money that was owed to the rescue department as of that time. And Karen had called me up with some concerns about that. Concerns about the rescue department's ability to repay the town. The deficit that the rescue department ran on June 30th, 2013. The fact of how are we going to get our money back from the rescue department, and the fact that she felt it necessary to look and put some kind of a plan for getting not only repaid, but to put some kind of a spending cap, for lack of a better word, on the rescue department. And at that time, it was also discussed, and I actually went back and revisited the articles and the ordinance that established this, you know, is the fact that it appears based on the ordinance and the wishes of the taxpayers of the town of Lebanon not to use, or being told that tax dollars weren't being used, was not a fair statement anymore starting June 30th, 2013 and continuing as we speak now. It appears that the town has advanced the rescue department tax dollars to fund operations.
May I please have Sebastian Egley and Emily and Danny Jubis for dismissal, please.
The pooling of money is a very common. We do over 200 municipalities in the states of Maine, Vermont, and Massachusetts, and probably somewhere between 60 and 75 rescue departments. The concept of pooling money is a very common thing. The concept of rescue providing service and getting paid after the fact is a very common thing. But the fact that when you guys pass the ordinance and pass the warrant article and the leading to believe of the public that no taxpayer dollars, you know, were going to be used, in 2013, that didn't become common. Right now, it did become common. You know, and I think that there's some concerns on how the town's going to recover the money. I think there's some concerns on whether or not the town continues to fund the rescue department. And whether the town needs a rescue department, statutorily have a responsibility. But I think that the questions have been raised, at what point in time, you know, do we make everybody aware that it appears that 4 years ago what we thought was going to happen really isn't the case now, and I think the time is now. And I think going forward, I think that the town's going to have a decision, you know, about coming up with some kind of repayment plan, looking at whether or not the rescue department can continue its operations without some kind of a town subsidy. And then the town will have to decide on whether or not going forward at some other special town meeting, or its next town meeting, whether or not to appropriate money for the rescue department if it's deemed not possible, the rescue department can't operate, you know, at a break-even point. And I think that that's what brings us to this table here, to talk about some of these options and talk about where we go from here. How did that do?
That's a pretty good synopsis of where we are and why we're here today.
So there's a lot of reasons that I understand is delayed Medicaid. That doesn't help the town at all. You know, certainly the cash flow, the town's been banking on the cash flow. The town's made some commitments to its taxpayers in Lebanon to reduce and stabilize its tax commitment by using its fund balance and own money. So that's been depleted, and obviously fronting the rescue operations, and probably as much as 6 to 8 months that I understand in arrears, you know, from Comstar and Maine. You know, the rescue department is also further depleting the town's cash flow.
We met, Bill and I, Ron was there for a while, and we went over the numbers for last year. And we came up with what we call a fund balance, or what the balance is for the department, should everything be paid, should everything be cut. We also came up with a dollar amount that the rescue department had borrowed from the general fund. And that was the amount of the $166,000 or so. And I know there's been some questioning about how did we get there, what are the real numbers, etc. So I put together a very detailed report. It's called Fund Balance and Due To, Due From, Detailed Report for Rescue. This is how we got to where we are today. And if you look on fourth page from the back, the balance at the end of the fiscal year for FY13 is exactly what Ron just spoke about. Your fund balance is $55,000, and the amount of cash borrowed
In the hole.
in the hole, negative